Greetings everyone. Now I just want to address this news story that was published in the Daily Mail on the 7th of April 2022, which is today. Of course I say published in the Daily Mail, but what one news outlet publishes, every single other news outlet will also cover identically, because they all publish the same thing, no independent journalism. This is a headline and a half, so you'll have to bear with me while I just take a breath, and they're pretty much telling you the entire story just in one headline, in which case, why bother reading it? Thank you, Boris. Olympic swimmer Sharron Davies leads praise for PM as he says trans women should not be competing in female events and questions children's ability to make gender choices amid Tory row over conversion therapy ban. Yep, great, can't argue with the idea that trans women shouldn't compete, that children cannot make such decisions about gender. Totally agree with that. But when you look at the people involved in this story, Sharron Davies, why would she object to other trans athletes when, take a look at her yourself? We could read all this fluff in the article, which is basically summed up in the headline that we've already read, and we could of course watch a video of Boris talking about biological men. Interesting he would broach that subject. We're going to have a look at Boris in a minute. Sharron Davies, take a look at her. If it's not apparent in that picture, we'll go to this other publication, pinknews.co.uk. LGBT sport organisations respond to Sharron Davies' anti-trans claims. Sharron Davies, Kelly Holmes and other high-profile athletes have hit out at transgender athletes. Look at the picture they use of Sharron and see if they're trying to tell you anything. Are we not seeing that? Is it not blatantly obvious? Point you at that Adam's apple. Also the ridiculously wide shoulders. And if we look at some other images of Sharron, yeah, I think it's pretty clear that Sharron isn't quite as we might have believed all these years. Perhaps this story about transgender swimmer, let's find a picture of him. Well, these are all, I believe all the people you're going to see here is trans. This was a man that was a cyclist, well, basically put a wig on, whatever, and decided wants to compete in female. He has announced he'll start competing in female event, and here we see ridiculously masculine trans athlete who happened to win this event. Say, look at Sharron. Is her frame any different to what we're seeing? Of course, this is nothing new, okay? By all accounts, the laws when it comes to transgender athletes, it is only tennis that insists that competitors who are transgender have to have had transitional surgery in their genitals before puberty in order to compete as a female. Apparently that rule is already set out in tennis. Interesting again, what with the likes of Venus and Serena, and they're not the only two. All high-profile sport female events are peppered with these characters. You see them everywhere, believe me. Actually, before we move on from Sharron, we'll just have a look. She is 5'11", which is the average height of a man, by the way. And we see in her personal life, in autumn 2006, she announced that she was 3 months pregnant after 8 rounds of intravenous fertility treatment, having been trying for a baby for 4 years and suffering 2 miscarriages. We're very optimistic and happy, but we're cautious too, because of what we've been going through. Giving birth at 44 doesn't worry me. So many women go through this as they leave it late to have babies. Well, yeah, okay, women do indeed have babies after 40, but celebrities just seem to be doing it all the time like it's nothing. So we can look at also Kelly Holmes. Let's see if this person is quite what they seem. Kelly Holmes herself is only 5'5" actually, she's a lot shorter, but is she just very muscular or is there more to it? And also, before we go on, we'll mention Boris Johnson. Who knows the deal with Boris, but let's look at his spouse. See if she too doesn't look a bit suspicious. One of my subscribers actually pointed out that Carrie and Boris share a striking resemblance to Lucas and Kevin McGee. You can't immediately ignore the similarities between Carrie and Matt Lucas's former partner, who's now supposedly died. Also, Boris and Matt Lucas. What a crazy possibility. Could it just be the same couple leading different roles? Who knows? Going back to that story, they did also include a story about youngsters and what age they can be taught about, or what age they should be able to receive therapy, treatment. It's just putting that idea on the table that there is a certain age after which point we will start telling children you want to be considering whether or not you're in the right body. Ridiculous message put in the heads of children. It says they are going to outlaw conversion therapy for homosexuals, but the therapy for trans people will still not be outlawed in England, basically bringing up the possibility that they may outlaw anyone that comes to a doctor saying they believe they're in the wrong body. Any doctor or psychiatrist that might suggest, no, you're all right, you're just going for a phase, that will be made illegal. Scary times. Expect to see more athletes competing who you might want to take a closer look at, which, just like Sharron Davies, you want to consider how square that jaw is, etc. Just one of the many reasons why I do not follow mainstream high-profile sports whatsoever. All ridiculous, all fakes, all fake. As always, I'd be very interested to hear your comments, questions and opinions, and thank you for watching.